Ever wish you could skip the fixer-uppers and move into something that actually smells new? Welcome to Beltramo Ranch in Moorpark, KB Home's latest community with modern design, open space, and zero projects on your to-do list. This new construction home tour is going to give you a first look at the layout, the finishes, as well as the space. If you're looking for a Moorpark new home for sale, this might just check every box. Welcome to Beltramo Ranch in Moorpark, California. So Beltramo Ranch is built by KB Homes, one of the larger builders nationwide. So this development is only going to have 47 home sites. So it's not going to be a very large community, to say the least. You only have three different models to choose from, right? One ranging around 1,900 square feet, the one that we're looking at today, which is over 2,200 square feet, and you have another one that's almost 2,500 square feet of living space. So you only have three different models, and then of the three different models, there are different elevations that you can actually choose, the different facings, right? And there's a few different options on those. And then you have either Plan A or Plan B. So Plan A is going to be more of a stucco finish on the outside, and Plan B, which you see behind us, right? We're going to be looking at a Plan 2, a B, which is going to be behind us. That one has these more hardy planks, kind of more of a siding-like material as opposed to the stucco. So we're going to get into everything that this community has to offer, number one, and also how you can kind of customize this home, how you can make it from 4 to 5 bedrooms if that's something that you want to do, how you can get on the interest list, and just those type of things. We'll talk about new construction in general. Now, if you're wondering where we're at, we're in the city of Moorpark, California. Now, Moorpark, California is constantly rated as one of not only the safest places to live in California nationwide, but also one of the top places to live in. So we're not in Los Angeles County, we're in Ventura County. We're about 51 miles away from downtown Los Angeles. So we're located today kind of off the 118/23 freeway. So Moorpark, very popular. It's very suburban. Used to be a lot of agricultural predominantly, but over the years, you've seen a lot of larger single-family homes be built out here. So you still have the agricultural element to it, but it's still kind of like that sleepy town because you're really close to places like Simi Valley, Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, close to the 101, but not too far away from everything that's related to Los Angeles County. All right, we're going to get into all of that in this video, so let's start the home tour. Welcome inside the Plan 2 model home. Now again, this one 4 to 5 bedrooms. I do promise we're going to show you how you get to that 5th bedroom upstairs later in this video. There is 2,288 square feet of living space, 3 bathrooms, and a 2-car garage. Won't be able to show you the 2-car garage because that is currently being utilized as the sales office for this planned unit development. All right, so let's start from the very beginning as we are here at the entryway. So as we kind of give you a better viewpoint of everything inside. So immediately to the left of your front door, right, you're going to have 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom downstairs. So of your 4 bedrooms, 1 is downstairs. They currently have the downstairs bedroom set up and staged as an office. And then over here, right, this is your mirrored closet. Notice the luxury vinyl plank flooring. Now, most of your flooring, especially in the non-wet areas, is going to be carpet. That comes standard. And so if you kind of come out over here, you'll see where the large great room is. That would come to you carpeted, but it kind of comes out around $13,000 to make the entire home luxury vinyl plank flooring. So before we go to the great room, let's go check out the bathroom here. Now this is going to be utilized as the downstairs bathroom for all your friends and family that are going to be entertained here in the main living areas, as well as the downstairs bathroom. So you have your shower enclosure here. You have your upgraded tile right there. And then you got your quartz counter on your vanity with the white cabinetry. And this is your downstairs bathroom. So you have a total of 3. The other 2 are located upstairs. All right, so now we're gonna move our way around over here to this large great room. So here you have this huge kitchen island, right? And look, they have it set up with only 3 spots, but you could easily make this 4 or 5 stools or bar chairs right here. That would be perfect to kind of entertain your friends and family like we talked about before. It's a really nice area to have as a prep area. So the appliances themselves, they're all stainless steel. This is a Samsung built-in microwave right here. Those come standard. What doesn't come standard is the refrigerator as well as the washer and dryer. Now you can buy them through KB Homes, which may not necessarily be a bad idea, but you probably could shop around because the refrigerator space is big enough, and it might be easier just to go to Best Buy and get your refrigerator. But you could, for convenience sake, go through KB Home, and they do offer that option. So I do really like this counter setup right here because this is going to be the focal point really of the entire great room. I really do. They're not intrusive. They're not over the top design. Very minimalist design are these light fixtures hanging over your island counter. So take a look at all the LED lighting, recessed lighting that you have above right here. And then this is your formal dining area. So you walk right over from your kitchen over to your formal dining area, and then you'll have your slider to the backyard, which we'll explore later in this video. So in addition to your dining area, which is part of this large great room, this is your living room, and this is where you're going to be sitting with everybody after or before your meal. And then you have this space on the wall over there where you're going to be putting your big screen TV. Now we'll pan over to the right because I do want to show you this. Right, so we're not going to open this door right here. This door would take you to the garage normally, but again, that's being used as the sales center here by KB Homes. And then underneath the staircase right here, you have this coat closet and a decent amount of storage as well. All right, so that's everything downstairs that you need to be able to see, except one room, and you can see that door, and you're probably asking yourself, Scott, where's the walk-in pantry? And here it is, right in front of us. So pretty good space to kind of keep all your food needs, right? All the items that you would normally store in your pantry are right here. You have it adjacent to your kitchen. Hey guys, Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group, and helping buyers like yourself here in the greater Los Angeles area for over 20 years. So hope you're enjoying this home tour so far of this new construction home. All right, you probably heard it, and I probably sound like a broken record, but it really is the truth. Because every time we talk with a brand new client that reaches out to us on our videos about new construction, they have an idea of how it works, but a lot of times there's a lot of intricacies. And, a lot of times because different people have different needs. Some people have to sell a home in order to buy a new construction home. Some people may not have to sell a home, but they may just be worrying about timeline or worried about certain structural design upgrades, right? And so this is where kind of meeting with myself and kind of really talking with you and answering all your questions before you even step inside the builder's office, because a lot of times we like to be there with you on your first visit. It's really important. And this way I can kind of answer a lot of your questions and kind of help you get a better idea of what to expect on the builder side. Now, while we get compensated from the builders, we work for you, we represent you, not the builder. So I can be really honest with you, about the pros and cons about every different builder here in Southern California. And there are a bunch of them. So take advantage of the QR code or give us a call. We can set up a time and consultation for you and kind of answer just whatever questions might be floating up top in your head. And this way you're not waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out what those answers are. Let's get back to the home tour. Let's make our way upstairs, and as we do, let's discuss schools, because the city of Moorpark not only has some of the best schools here in Southern California, but the state of California. So the elementary school assigned is going to be Walter Canyon Arts and Technology Magnet. The middle school is going to be Chaparral Middle School, and then the high school is going to be Moorpark High School. So if schools are important to you, all those schools are within 3 miles of this planned unit development. All right, so immediately as we get off the staircase, you're going to see this loft area. Now this is really nice. And one thing I just wanted to point out, look at that really cute dog bed. Now, I have 2 miniature schnauzers. Mine would probably just sleep in my bed, which is what they constantly do already. But it's pretty cool to have a little dog bed like that. All right, back to this loft. And what's important here about the loft, remember downstairs and beforehand, I promised you I was going to tell you how did we get from 4 to 5 bedrooms. So if you wanted to have that extra 5th bedroom and you really needed it, this would be converted into that 5th bedroom. It's not as expensive as you really think because basically they're just putting up drywall. So it cost about $4,000 to add this 5th bedroom if you wanted to do so. I would say personally, for resale purposes, most buyers really like having the loft. We find that most of our new construction clients, when they have the option of converting the loft into an extra bedroom, almost nobody does it. But then again, if you need that 5th bedroom for a certain purpose, maybe you have extra family living with you, maybe more than one person has to have a home office, I get it. Everybody's needs are going to be different, but I would say for resale purposes, it's probably better just to keep the loft itself. But it's an easy upgrade, and there are not a ton of structural designs that you can do here, but this would definitely be one of them if you elected to opt for that 5th bedroom. All right, let's move on over here. This is the hallway bathroom that's going to service the bedrooms that are not the primary bedroom. You have your shower and tub enclosure. It's the same tile essentially as downstairs that we saw. You have your dual sink vanity with your quartz countertop, light cabinetry, and nickel handles in this hallway bathroom. So the Homeowners Association dues here are going to be $287 a month, approximately at build out. So because this community isn't going to have a large community center, remember there's only 47 home sites to begin with, but the HOA is going to cover your front yard landscaping and irrigation. So you're not going to have to worry about any landscaping in the front, just the backyard. But there's no big clubhouse, there's no spa, there's no gym, no big amenities like that. And obviously the HOA will cover the maintenance of the road and the landscaping throughout the community, but it doesn't have anything really big. So that's what your HOA covers. And then when it comes to property taxes, right, one of the questions you have to ask with new construction, especially, right now we're in Ventura County, but especially when you go into northern LA County, you have to ask about Melrose and what your property tax rate's going to be. Now remember, in Ventura County, your property tax rate is going to be less than LA County. There is no Melrose here. They do have a special assessment, but even with the special assessment, your property tax rate will only be 1.23%. And that's opposed to some of the areas up in northern LA County, right? Some of them with Melrose, it can easily be 1.8, 1.9%, which is a huge difference when you really think about it, when it comes down to your monthly payment, when you're looking at a price point such as this. Now we're gonna walk over here into our primary bedroom in a moment, but this is where your laundry room is located. So the reason why I wanted to show you this in detail here, we'll take a moment, is that if you wanted to upgrade to having cabinetry, there's a couple different ways you can do it here with KB Homes, that you would have the opportunity to be able to add the cabinetry as an upgrade. You can add it all the way to the top. You can add it just some cabinets, but it is an optional upgrade that you would be able to have. Now you notice here that the doors aren't here right now. Normally you would have a door on here, but only on the finished home. The model homes, they just want people to be able to envision the space better, so you don't have the door on the entry into any of the bedrooms or rooms. Okay, now we are in the primary bedroom. So let's take a look around. Pretty good sized space. And then over here, as we walk around, you are going to be able to see your walk-in closet. So pretty decent sized space. And we'll pan back out here to give you that full perspective on your walk-in closet. Plenty of lighting above. You have your recessed lighting. And then over here, this leads you to your primary bathroom. Once again, you have your dual sink vanity with your white cabinetry. The same quartz countertop as we've seen in the other bathrooms. And then here, right, you have your tile in your shower enclosure. And then over here, this is where the toilet would be. So let me know what you guys think about this. Now, you know, this home is going to be delivered to you. Basically, there's no decorative items on the walls, right? And sometimes I can think that can be very deceiving to be a buyer and to go into a model home and see all these decorative options, and then to find out that it's really just going to come down to drywall and paint inside the house. So this is kind of how it's going to be given to you, just white paint, and then you can come in and customize it. And, you know, speaking of customizing, you know, coming back to the bathroom, you know, a lot of times it makes more sense and it's probably more cost effective for you to do your own tile. So maybe if you don't like this tile in the bathroom, maybe it just makes more sense for you to come in with your contractor and kind of figure out like, okay, well, maybe I want a different style tile. I want to give it more color. I want to give it more character, right? Whether it be painting, right? You know, anything such as that. Now, this is a Kohler thing, so that's always nice. And these are the type of things that we kind of like to walk through the model home with our clients to kind of help them understand this is what you could do. And this is what you could do through the builder. This is what you could do through the contractor. This is what makes sense doing here or there. I may be spending money on this upgrade, would be better for resale. So that's something I really do enjoy, actually walking through the homes with our clients. When it comes to solar, right, all builders are required to provide the home buyer on new construction homes a solar system. And that's no different here. So the solar system here, you have the chance to lease it or buy it out. Now, if you decide that you wanted a battery wall, you would have to install that yourself. And to be honest, if I'm really speaking honestly to yourself, don't get a battery wall right now. That technology is still evolving so much. And I can just tell you right now, just from seeing homes that maybe put solar on in 2015 or 2016, the technology has changed so much since then. And so those people that are selling their homes, right, it's a little more difficult to sell with the solar system. So if you're going to put in a battery wall, I would say wait a few years. But a battery wall is not even an option in this planned unit development, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. They only have 47 home sites, so it makes sense that they're probably not going to invest to have that as a possible option. All right, let's go outside into the backyard so we can kind of show you this space. So in this community, you're not going to have very large lots. It's not, you know, something like Hidden Oaks or in Chatsworth or the Ridge at Bella Vista and Porter Ranch, where you're looking at, you know, 13 to 20,000 square foot lots. No. But this is a totally different type of planned unit development. Obviously, the price difference is reflected in that. As you can see right here, you have your dual condenser units right here. So you have your dual zone air conditioning. And then over here, they have their artificial grass, which is really nice. So you got a nice little space for there for people to play, people to just relax. And then here you have your large concrete pieces. And then farther over here to the west, you have your concrete square pieces interconnected by the dirt, but very low maintenance landscaping. Doesn't require a lot of work, but you as the homeowner are going to get this basically as dirt here in the back, and you'll be required to submit your plans to the Homeowners Association Architectural Committee, typically within about 6 months of closing escrow, and you can determine how you want to set it up. So, you know, some people put some pavers in, some people put artificial grass in like they have here. So it's really a blank slate, a blank canvas for you to decide what you would like to do. Let me know what you think in the comments below of this new construction home here in Beltramo Ranch in Moorpark, California, built by KB Homes. So again, this community, 47 home sites, right? And right now they're currently in the very first phase. And so right now you have nothing built. So you pretty much get to choose all of your design options, some of your electrical upgrades. There's not a lot of structural upgrades that you get to choose. We already discussed that. So not really much to choose on that front so much, unless you're going really for the 5th bedroom. So that's something to keep in mind. But you do have a lot of ways to be able to customize this house. So it's a smaller community, again, only 47 home sites, and they have a total of 3 different floor plans. Right now, to get in this floor plan, you're looking at the plan 2, and that one kind of starts at about $1,052,000 at the time of recording this video. So those prices are always subject to change, so reach out to us. So if you have questions about this community, definitely feel to reach out. We can answer all the questions that you might have. What's included, what's not included, how do you get on their waiting list, what's the next step to actually see this home, and then afterwards the process of putting down a reservation. So if you want to know more information about that, whether it be here at KB Homes or another planned unit development, definitely reach out. That's what we're here for. Check out the QR code or give us a phone call. Always glad to be of service and kind of help you guys out. A lot of you have reached out to us with a lot of questions, and really enjoying being able to take the time to kind of walk you through the process, or just answer some of the questions that you might have, whether it be remodeling or just questions in general about the Los Angeles real estate market. We're here for you to kind of just be of service to you and kind of answer any questions that you might have. One of the things I really enjoy doing is being able to kind of hold our clients' hand through the new construction process. It's completely different than resale. So there's a lot more different questions that you're going to have. Your timelines are going to be different, right? The lending process is going to be a little different. So reach out to us and we can kind of explain all of that to you. So that way, when you're ready to go, when the time comes, and we're able to kind of join you and meet you at the builder, this way you're ready to go. Like, you're not going to have as many questions. You're going to have a really good idea of what the process looks like before we even talk to the builder. And that basically puts all the knowledge in your power. So you end up having the upper hand when it comes to that. All right, give me a call or reach out to us. If you enjoyed this home tour, make sure you like, comment, share, and we'll see you on the next home tour.